AEW Dynamite falls to WWE NXT for the second straight week, draws lowest viewership to date. WWE NXT made it 2 in a row against AEW Dynamite, topping the show by almost 150,000 viewers, its widest margin yet. Following last week's narrow victory, WWE NXT drew an average viewership of 810,000, down 11.5% from 916,000 viewers last week. NXT fell to No. 19 for the night among the 18 to 49 demographic. Despite falling in viewership from last week's 7-week high, NXT's 810,000 viewers is slightly above the show's median viewership of just over 800,000. AEW Dynamite saw a significant decline with 663,000 viewers, down 26% from 893,000 last week. AEW retained its edge, albeit slightly, in most demographics, with the exception of 50 and over, and came in at No. 15 for the night in the cable top 150 in the 18 to 49 demographic. Last week's ratings win for WWE came amid a star-studded show peppered with main roster stars on the road to Survivor Series, and NXT's strong showing at Survivor Series allowed the show to establish its first win streak of the Wednesday Night Wars. Despite returning to business as usual, with no interpromotional presence or conflict on Raw or NXT winning the night at Survivor Series appeared to have a significant impact on viewers as the tide has turned in WWE's favor for the time being. The numbers did not bode well for the Wednesday night flagship as Raw drew just 2.109 million viewers, the second lowest non-holiday viewership in history. Raw's number came despite featuring the fallout for a Big 4 pay-per-view where viewership was up across the board for all 3 go-home shows last week. But with no main roster stars advertised or on the show, WWE NXT's momentum hardly took a hit outside of the expected drop in viewers for a broadcast on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. With the NXT brand, and its stars, shining bright last Sunday, WWE's intentions were painfully obvious: make NXT look strong on one of WWE's biggest stages, thereby making it more formidable against AEW moving forward. Mission accomplished. NXT winning the night at Survivor Series was a strong first step in what should be a long-term initiative to establish the former developmental brand as a superior television show, though it's worth noting that WWE is not a long-term promotion. NXT's 2 most successful outings against AEW Dynamite came with main roster stars featured on the show. The November 6th broadcast came within 9,000 viewers of defeating AEW Dynamite on a show featuring a bafflingly unadvertised appearance by AJ Styles, and the WWE learned from its mistake the 2 weeks later by promoting an open-door policy where Raw and SmackDown stars were invited and expected to appear. If WWE took its own advice, booking NXT as a marathon rather than a sprint could lead to better storylines, more rewarding payoffs, and eventually ratings success. Had WWE NXT lost following its big night at Survivor Series, main roster stars creeping into the territory would have been all but inevitable. NXT winning so decisively with no presence from main roster stars, however, bodes well for the prevailing fear that the hip promotion will be compromised with a surge of Raw and SmackDown talent. AEW, meanwhile, drew its lowest viewership total to date despite a loaded show headlined by an AEW Heavyweight Championship. Though a ratings hit was expected, given the holidays, dropping below 700,000 viewers is a cause for concern as WWE's shrewd strategy to raise NXT's profile appears to be working.